Today I'm going to give you my absolute best 4-2-3-1 tactic that I built in FN26 so far. This isn't just a plug and play exploit, this is a comprehensive tactical system designed to dominate possession, suffocate the opponent, and most importantly, score a ridiculous amount of goals. Whether you're trying to win the Champions League with a top tier side or drag a sleeping giant out of the leagues, this setup is going to be your best friend. I'm going to break down the team instructions, the vital player roles, and the exact attributes you look for in the transfer market to make this sing. Before we jump in the tactics screen, if this video helps you out, please drop a like and subscribe. This helps the channel massively. There's the download link in the description if I can make one up, if you want to download the file straight away. But I highly recommend watching the breakdown so you know exactly why this works. Let's get into it. So then we're going to start off with this Bordeaux save that I had when I took Bordeaux from the depths of French football up to the Champions League semi-final. It's not the best one in the world, but we're just going to create a new tactic. Don't really fancy on any of these. I don't click any on one of these, but if you are struggling and this video isn't going to help, or maybe the tactic doesn't work for your team, can't really build on it before, then maybe you start with one of these. I'm going to start with a clean slate. Go for the formation. It doesn't really all matter the one you pick. I'm just going to pick a 4-2-3-1 narrow, but I'm going to clear my squad for this one just to make it a little bit less confusing. But in possession, you're going to want to drag these two up. You now have your winger on an inside forward, and this right hand side is where I switch. Sometimes you can have inside forward, sometimes you can have winger. It really depends on the players you have here. On forward, I just go with channel forward. With this one, you go with a couple options. You can either choose attacking midfielder or advanced playmaker. Really just depends where your player is best. Look at these key attributes. Is that where they stand? Long shots off the ball, passing, or if this one is more composure and teamwork. I like to go with an advanced attacking midfielder just because of what I do. And with this one, you want one of them as a channel midfielder. Usually it's my right hand side, but I'm going to do left hand side for this one. And this next one you can kind of play around a bit. It depends on the player that you want, depends on how good of a team you are. Sometimes you can do a wide playmaker, or I like to do just a central midfielder. And fullbacks, you want one of them as a fullback and one of them as a wing back. It depends on which one is your strongest attacking, but you also want three. And then if your centre backs can play, I like having a ball playing centre back. If your players can't pass, it's probably not the best idea, but I like to have it. And then a ball playing goalkeeper, especially if you've got a ball playing keeper. Who's my goalkeeper at the moment? Taniguchi. His passing isn't great, but I think because he's so good against most other teams, it really depends who does. Most of the keepers I have actually aren't that great. Like especially Montiel here with his full passing, you definitely don't want him on ball playing, because that full passing is just going to give players free chances at goal. So back to the tactic, and that's what it's like in possession. Going to switch that to a goalkeeper. I never do no nonsense because they seem to just kick out a player for absolutely no reason. And then out of possession, you want to drag these to there as well, and have one of your defensive midfielders come back to there, which is usually the defensive of the two, the one you had on the central midfield before. And then on this one, you have one of them on screening and one of them on pressing. On fullbacks, you want fullbacks. Don't touch any of these, not for me. And then I have this one as just centre forward. You can have it on central outlet, centre forward if you are a very counter-attacking team, but that's not what I go with. With the mentality, it depends. I usually have it on positive, sometimes attacking. Go into all instructions. Passing directness, you want it slightly more direct. That's just the way I play. With tempo, you want it just one higher. Time wasting, less often. Attacking transition, I like to do a counter-attacking system. Attacking width, Usually it makes sense with your wing backs, you want it much wider. Because of our inside forwards, especially, you definitely want them cutting inside. And a bit more of that. Play for set pieces really depends on how much of attacking set piece team you are. If you have a big 6'5" target man, maybe you have that for set pieces, but because I have short players, maybe it's not so great. Creative freedom, you can't really change that around. I just leave it on balance. Build up strategy, depends how technical of a team you are. If you're higher up in the leagues, then maybe pass through the press. I usually just keep that on normal. When you get more of a better team, you can play through the press. Or when you're not quite good at a team, you can bypass the press. But I'm in kind of that middle bit at the moment. With goal kicks, it might seem a little bit counterintuitive, but I go short goal kicks. Just because I want my players to start playing pretty quickly. With my distribution, I usually keep it on centre-backs or full-backs. Depends on who's the better passers. With my centre-backs at the moment, they're not the best passers, and they're more tackling. So you want that to your full-backs, so your full-backs can find your midfielders. Usually you go from centre-back to one of these midfielders who usually drops in a little bit. But also you can just find a full-back who can either find the wingers, find your striker, if you're the target man type, or find another one of your midfielders. Going on to supporting runs, I just leave that alone. Kind of just leave that alone. Encourage dribbling, but that's because I have a lot of dribblers. You kind of got to fit the tactics to your players. If your players aren't going to be good at passing, maybe don't distribute short. Don't dribble so much if you're not that good on red with dribbling. But I would encourage that one. Progress through. Kind of ignore that one as well. Pass reception, because we're doing a counter-attacking formation. In it, this one we're going to do our pass into space. But if you're looking to do more of a tiki taka formation, definitely do pass to feet. But for me, it's pass reception. With patience, I'm going to work the ball into the box, and the shoots from distance is discouraged. I have too many opportunities where players can slot one in for an easy shot, and they end up just shooting away with the bar. And then crossing style, you want to go all the way over so they go low crosses. So you want to get your fullbacks come on wingers. Or you want your fullbacks like here, midfielders here. If I get rid of this, you want your fullbacks to be here, coming in, and then passing to your either inside forwards who can shoot, left third, right third, or just slot in your channel forward. Helps as well if you got midfielders around, like I've got Alvarez, Brique, and Mihajlovic. Mihajlovic is going to sit down a little bit, and then Brique can either go left or right, and Alvarez usually right third goes right, but I did have someone goes left, so you can go left. And Brique usually picks up the other one if we're stick around the 18-yard box for quite a while, or if we're not, you can grab up the loose touches and have a shot from distance. Goalkeeper distribution, I'm going to distribute quickly because this is a very counter-attacking system. High press on the line of engagement. Defensive line, I usually go higher, not do anything like that. For a counter-attacking system, it works slightly better if you go lower and then have trigger press more often. It does take your tendency to quite high, so you might have to have a bigger squad. Defensive transition is counter-attack, counter-pressing, as we want to win the ball back as quick as possible, as this is counter-attack. Kind of like a kick and run, but in not kind of like a Brexit, trying to Stoke kind of way. With tackling, get stuck in kind of works. You do give away a couple of unneeded free kicks, but that's where you want your centre-backs to be quite high. Cross engagement, I like personally to have it as stop crosses, but it really depends on how good your defenders are. At fullback, just for this, I'm going to leave it on balanced. On the pressing trap, usually I'll leave it standard. And usually, if you've got a different formation, maybe that works a bit better, where you've got maybe a 4-3-1-2, and then stop goal distribution puts it on that. And especially on if you're on the defensive line, you want this to step up more. So I'm going to do a quick pick with this. So here we are then, put them in, and just normally, I did sell both my fullbacks in the recent season, so I've got a couple of youngsters at a fullback, but that's not too bad. Look at this one. With this one, you kind of just want not the normal, just use the guide as fullbacks. You want really out possession fullback, so you want marking, tackling, aggression helps a bit, but you'd mostly get some yellow cards. Anticipation's good, concentration's good, decision's good, position, teamwork as well. Pace is always good as well. Decent height as well, 6'1", especially for them forwards who like to get through the fullbacks and go to the fullbacks. This one's another youngster, not quite as good, but still got all the attributes in the right place. Doesn't have quite the marking, if I go on this one, but got a lot of the other stats that you want. Doesn't have quite the attacking stats, but I think this one he's going to be more of the fullback than the wingback. Onto a striker. This one's going to be in possession. You want your dribbling, finishing, first touch. Pace is always good. Height's always good. If you're trying to get that one, look at his value already. Decent pace as well. Anticipation, bravery, off the ball, work rate, technique. All you'd want from this. Decision making, concentration is always good as well. So then, that is my 4-2-3-1 tactic. If I can, I'll make a downloading in the description for anyone who wants to download that straight away. But as you can see from this one, it doesn't really matter that Alves is usually an attacking midfielder / second striker, can still play advanced midfielder. Just look for that composure, passing, and decisions have them quite high. Jumping reach and height doesn't really matter too much on that one. So you can also swap Ziani because he's left-footed. You can swap him for, I've got a Shamir who's more right-footed, who can play on that. Does have a fairly strong left foot, so you can do both. But there's the end of today's episode. Thank you for watching. Leave any comments you want in the description if I missed any details out. As you can see, more than 2 players. Briku's getting quite a lot of goals just from outside the box. Milivovic getting attacking a little bit. Shamir. Alves isn't quite doing that well, but it's his first season. And then we got Rudier and Pereira with our top 2 goal scorers along with Briku. With Rudier, although he doesn't have the best finishing stats, he kind of just works. But anyway, that is the end of today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.